Okay, guys, welcome back. All right, so previously we did frequency separation. I believe by now you must have understood exactly what frequency separation is. Now there is a next level to it. After doing your frequency separation, you're going to notice one thing, that your frequency separation tends to flatten out some highlights and some shadows in your image, and it makes it sometimes to start looking flat and all of that. So that brings us to the next thing we are going to do: enhancing your highlights and enhancing your shadow. The simplest thing you can call it is your dodge and burn. So today we're going to be learning dodging and burning technique in Photoshop using curves or any other dodge and burn technique that we are going to be seeing in our action, just to make the highlights even pop out a little more and the shadows become a bit darker, to give you the actual dimensional look in your images, so that when you look at your image, it's no longer looking flat, it's standing out. The shadows and the highlights, they are looking as contrasty as they are supposed to be. That is what we are going to be learning today. So let's go straight to Photoshop and let me show you how that works. But previously, in the previous video, we used this check layer to take care of our frequency separation. Now we're also going to use it in our dodging and burning technique. So to do that, I'm going to take it off so that it doesn't get involved in the way. Then I'm going to run my dodge and burn action. So if you look here, you're going to see dodging, you're going to see burning. If you feel that your skin textures, maybe you lost a lot of it when you were doing your frequency separation, you can restore it using your skin texture. I'm going to show you at the end of the day, when we'll be doing our finishing touches, how to even add some others, some more smoothness or softness to your image, and even restore some skin textures. We are going to be doing that later on in the course. Okay, so I'm going to run my dodge. I'm going to run my dodge action, so it's run. I'm going to also do the same thing for my burning. Then I'm going to activate my check layer. So we'll have everything now. We'll have our check, we'll have our burn, we'll have our dodge, and we'll have our frequency separation. And you're going to notice that every single thing is on a different layer, so that we can even have manual control. So for example, when you are doing your dodging and burning and you feel that your frequency separation got in the way too much, that you're no longer seeing the original shape of the image, you can turn off your frequency separation. That is if you are not using your check layer, because I think the check layer takes care of that when you are doing your dodge and burn with your frequency separation on. So when you're not using your check layer, you may need to turn off your frequency separation to see exactly the way the lights are falling on your image, so that you can be able to give it a realistic look. Now you must understand that when you do your dodging and burning wrongly, that is, if you paint the highlight in the wrong area, in the wrong direction, in the wrong intensity, it's going to affect the overall look of your image, which is why you have to use a subtle brush and you have to be careful while doing it. So we're going to pick up our brush, take our flow as low as 2 or 3, depending on how much you want to paint. Then turn on your check layer. You can decide to turn off a frequency separation, but I wouldn't want to do that. So first of all, start with our dodge. Remember, when we were talking about this check layer, we said that the dark areas are the highlights and the bright areas are the shadows. So all these areas that looks dark in the eye, they are all our highlights. So those are the places we are going to be dodging. So dodge simply means highlight, burn simply means shadow. So you can decide to rename it if you won't remember that. So let's quickly get started. So I'm going to start with this area. Just quickly brighten here up. Make sure that your brush is white, because we're working with mask. We're working with an inverted mask. So you need to use your white brush at your foreground, so that you can be able to reveal what's behind the mask. So we'll just paint over here. Do not paint too much in any particular area. Let me show you what we've done. Let me show you. This is the before, this is the after. So if you look at it, you notice that that highlight is getting stronger. So if you paint too much in a particular area, it's going to look bad at the end of the day. So just make sure you are careful. So these areas that are darker than some areas means that the highlight in this area is stronger than the one here. So you may not need to really paint so much in that area, so that you don't end up messing up your image. And also maintain the shape of your object while doing this. If you know how the size of that highlight, make your brush to assume that size. If you know the size of that shadow, make your brush to assume that size. That is simply what we're doing here. All right, so I think I'm done. Don't need to do so much in this. Okay, so let's just quickly go down to the body here as well. Just quickly touch here. So if you notice, there are some places I'm not painting too much. Why? I do not need to paint too much because the check layer is showing me that that area doesn't have so much to do there. So if you do more than what the check layer is showing you, you're going to also mess up your image. That's one beautiful thing using that. The check layer shows you how intense the area you need to paint should be. Yeah, it shows you how intense it should be. So you just know exactly what you are working with. So I think I made a mistake here. So I'm just going to invert my brush, take the flow up and just minus it. Just like this. So I mistakenly painted the shadow instead of the highlight. So I've removed it from that area, go back to the settings and continue from where we stopped. So this was what I was supposed to paint. And here as well. Same thing there. Come over to this area, do the same thing. Zoom out to see it. All right, so over this area, just do a little dabbing here and we're good. So let's check the body. Okay, so this one is a very strong highlight, so we'll just make it stronger. So all these ones are just meant for making your body to glow. So when you take out your time and do this correctly, you are going to notice that your image will have this beautiful glow on the skin. Why? Because you even made the highlights on the skin to become a bit more intentional. A bit more intentional. I'll do the same thing over here as well. All right, so I think I need more here. Maybe a little here as well. Then come down to the arm, to the fingers over here. Do same thing here. All right, beautiful. Okay, so we can work with this basically. So let's try touching the nose area. Very important. Will be same thing here. The shape. Let's make sure these shapes are very accentuated. Just a little. Nice. Okay, so I think I should have some highlights here. Also here. What's that tiny light? Then for the eye area, make it a bit more brighter. Add some glow to this place as well. Do the same thing over here. Same thing over here. Over here as well. Just slightly. And just do a very quick one over here. So if you make a mistake, you can do Ctrl Z. Just go back and do it again. All right, so let's turn off our check layer. Beautiful. So let's see what we've done. The before, the after, the before, the after. So you notice that we've just added some glows to the image. Let me zoom it out so we'll see it properly. This is the before, the after, before, the after. Look at the way the body is shining and all of that. So also check it here. So if you feel it's not as intense as you want, you can even duplicate it and it becomes stronger. But I like it the way it is, except for the forehead. I think I want to even add some highlights here, just to make it a bit more intentional and smooth. So I can do that without my check layer, just like that. Then I'll reduce it overall, but that's full area. All right, we are good. Okay, so let's quickly move over to the bone. So I'll turn it on, go over to my bone and do opposite of everything I've done. So just come there, paint, following the shape of the object. So in our dodging, I don't think we touched here. Some areas around, so just do that quickly. All right, so we'll go back to our bone, paint. This area needs to burn, so you also paint it. Same thing here. If we highlight that eye, we need to add small highlights here. And for our bone, that thing here, just the surrounding. Check out this area, smoothing it out, do the same thing here. That's a very big one. Then come over to the eye, very important. The bone here, just bone it as much as you can. So it gives that eye a very nice shape. Then for the nose, very important here. Just check that. So this will allow us to even get shape into the nose. Though we can as well do that using our liquify, but you have to give it a dimension first. Okay, so we come over to this area. So let's quickly check out what we've done. So this is the before, this is the after. So you notice that our image is getting even more stronger, except for here, I don't like the shape of that bone. So we'll just have to take it away from here. Just this particular area. It's making it look unrealistic. So we'll just take it out. Take it back to 3. And we'll attention into the lips. Bringing more attention into the lips. So we do the same thing for the Dutch. All right, so do the same thing over here. Very intentional. So I'll just slightly paint over here, just slightly. One stroke. Good. Okay, so over here, the paint here. Here a little. Good. So let's turn it off. So you notice that we've been able to bring in more details to the lips before, after. So the lips now look more three-dimensional before, after, for after. So let's look at the overall before and after of everything we've done. So this is the before, this is the after, the before, the after. So if you feel that the whole dodging and burning looks too much for your image, you can come to the group we created and just reduce the opacity, so you can also use that to control how intense that is going to look on your object. Thank you for watching. Make sure you take out time and practice this so that you get used to using dodging and burning in your images. Do it across many images so that you can get very used to it before we move over to the next class. Thank you.